When you and Cassie spoke before she filed her lawsuit, did you and Cassie speak anything in reference to some balcony incident?
She had a balcony. Somebody hung her off on a 17-story. He supposedly hung her over a 17-story balcony, man.
And then right after Cassie filed the suit, you filed a suit, true?
Not right after.
Okay, you hired lawyers in January, true?
True.
But isn't it true that before you filed your suit, you and Cassie spoke right there at the end of the year? That's where I am, okay? Yes?
Yes.
And you guys talked about this balcony story, true?
Yes.
And Cassie said, hey, this happened at a hotel, right?
She didn't say it like that.
Right. She said something about a hotel, true?
Yes.
And you said, no, what about your apartment? Objection.
Hold on, Ms. Westmoreland. I think you need to rephrase that question.
Yes.
Re-ask it.
You told Cassie, you and Cassie discussed locations of where you would say this happened, true? Objection.
That's overruled.
Yes. Sorry.
Cassie was saying hotel, you were saying your apartment has a balcony, true?
I didn't say it like that.
Okay, Cassie said hotel, you said apartment?
Yes.
And Cassie's apartment had a balcony, true?
Yes.
And you and Cassie were discussing potential dates, true?
Yes. But just the way you say it.
Well, you said you suggested one date, she suggested another, true?
Yes.
Objection.
Grounds?
Form, Your Honor.
That's overruled.
True?
Re-say the question again.
You answered it already.
All right, so that was a little glimpse off the cross. What do you think about this? Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former district attorney.
Start it back up.
Okay, Matt, let's focus in on the cross and how the defense position is that this didn't happen. They're saying this has been fabricated. They're pointing to inconsistencies between Cassie's recalling the events versus Brianna's recalling the events. What do you think?
Well, I thought that was an effective line of questioning because, the attorney was able to get out of this witness that there was discussion about where it happened and when it happened between two witnesses in this case. And that's really important, this idea that this whole thing has been fabricated. So I thought it was effective. I thought that it pointed out that, hey, not only is there some question about where or when this happened, you want to plant a seed with this jury. Is there a question if it ever happened? And that's where the defense is right now.
Mm-hmm. Right, Matt. Tell me, when it comes to what's going to happen with the civil suit, thoughts on how the result of this criminal case may impact it?
Well, typically what you see in a civil case, you have a plaintiff who's also the victim in a case, and if you're successful on a criminal level, where the issue is beyond. For the harm that he caused her by dangling her over the railing. So it's not what we typically see when we're comparing a successful criminal prosecution and then a civil case to follow.
Right. Thank you so much for that, me and Gino. Appreciate it. Stand by kindly, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, more of the cross. Brianna. Doomsday cult mom, convicted killer, and now defendant, and yet another high-profile trial.
She didn't really care who she hurt this time. The attempted murder of a former family member, she said. And again, she's representing herself.
Are you done? Or are you just going to who's always there, even when no one else sees. You give so much, day after day. You hold their hand, then let go. Because you know one day, they'll need to be brave. At Goldfish Swim School, we're here to help them grow. So you can take a breath. Because you do it all. And somehow make it look easy. We see you, Mom, and you're doing an amazing job. Goldfish Swim School. You got this.
You got us banned from being Newtown? I have never been more in love with you.
Show me your folding tray. I'm not in the mood for your sheet right now. That's gotta hurt, huh? You keep me coming.
Start watching TV for free with Tableau.
Switching to Tableau has really been a money saver.
With Tableau, I can report something on the phone, I can pause it, I can come back, I can continue in the family room.
Order today at TableauTV.com.
I have always been someone who cares about the truth and getting the accurate information, and I think we've been able to uncover some pretty serious things.
I mean, do you feel safe at school?
How big of an issue is this? Scripps News supports one of the most important
Yeah,
things
so
that I care about.
we'll have more.
Is that acceptable? Ethics, accuracy, and truth.